up Chris Bumstead. Okay, I love Chris. Do you think he's going to be as effective on social media now that he's retired than he is competing?
There's times that you're going to look worse before you look better.
And that's most of the time.
You know? But we did cover it up. That was the one thing I think that I miss about the 80s and 90s is we kept it covered, because you don't want to show the other guys what you're doing and what you're looking like. You know,
I'm still like that. Like, I put this shirt on, right? And John's like, "What do you want, a double XL?" So I'm like, give me a triple or 4XL, so I can just cover my arms and stuff like that. I came with a baggy shirt and baggy pants.
Oh, yeah.
He put me into this
for sure.
You know, so
how important is that? Just to understand the psychology for everybody that's listening again. He's covering up because it has nothing to do with outside forces for what he wants to look like. It has everything to do with his mind.
Well, don't forget, Mike, don't forget, there's also a goal here for me, right? So let's take all these years out of it, right? When you got ready for a show, there was a goal. There was a certain way you needed to look. So up to that, you didn't care how you looked, or you didn't care what people said how you looked. Okay? Because if you do, you're doing it all for the wrong reasons, right? And number two, if you're getting ready way too fast for the show, your timing's off. Okay? So I got until August. I'm 24, 23 weeks out. Okay? If I start looking good now, I'm losing way too fast. Again, my goal is to peak at the day of the show. You know, in other words, if I want to show off and I want to prove to the world who I am and to show off my physique, it's that day. You know, if not, I would have been ripped 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days, you know, a year. But that's not why I do this. You know, I don't bodybuild. I'm in the sport of bodybuilding.
This goes back to the bulking.
Yes.
And going, and Joe Weider said it to me when I was 20. He goes, I got a cover over here and there's 5 girls around me. And I would like to think that the 5 girls around me is because I was such a sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex. It wasn't. It was because I just won the California powerlifting. He wanted me on the cover. And so I showed up and he goes, "Oh, you fat." He put 5 chicks around me to cover me. So he goes, "Never show it unless it's ready for stage."
Yep. Yeah.
And I never changed that approach. And like you said, bulking may seem bad to everybody else out there, but the point is for you to retain and get back all that muscle that young Jimmy 20-year-old had,
right,
and then peak on that one day, not 3 months out, not 2 months out. And I don't hear anybody talk about this, and I say it all the time. It says there's times there you're going to look worse before you look better.
And that's most of the time.
That is.
But that's most of the time.
Yeah. But why are they not willing to go through that to be that?
Because they're not doing it for those reasons. They're worried about what the other person next to them is thinking,
or Instagram or Facebook. They need the views. The more diced you are, the more views you're going to get. You go up there looking flabby, you're going to get trounced. Especially if you're a pro. You're a pro and you go up and you go on online and you start posting pictures and you don't look in the part, people are going to start putting you underneath the microscope and start slamming your ass. I mean, so there's like an outside force to some of these people where they care so much about what everybody else thinks instead of worrying about what they should be doing and worry about what they think about what's going to be going on. And if they truly know the path, that's the other thing. I don't think there's enough people out there that really do trust the process. They don't. They just don't, because these guys are jumping coaches. They're doing these different things. I come up to them on the street. I'm like, "Hey, listen, you need to incorporate this in your program." They start doing it, right? Like, you're not following the program. You're not following the process. How do you expect the result? And then they don't look at it, and then they start blaming on everything else. So, I think there's an outside aspect where people, they're trying to monetize on their look and think they should be stage ready 24/7, 365. And we all know for real, like that's not gonna happen.
But there's also another element on this, right? And I'm sure you've seen it. The guys who get ready for shows, they're just getting ready for shows because. But where they're trying to make money is on social media. Okay? So there's not really a big demand or there's not a lot of pressure on them to show up ready day of the show. You can't tell me, I don't care what anybody says, that the guys today look better than the guys back in the 90s.
I don't think so.
You can say whatever you want. I'm saying, look, I'm not going to say they train harder. I'm not going to say they're more dedicated. The thing is, they don't look more defined, more ripped, more shredded than we were. And I'll tell you why. Because they don't need to. Because the criteria nowadays is not as deep as it used to be. Okay? Now, also, if I have 2 million followers, let's say I did, which I don't, okay? I wouldn't even know what to do with 2 million followers. Okay? But if I had 2 million followers, why would I compete? Okay? Now, let's bring up Chris Bumstead. Okay? I love Chris. Do you think he's going to be as effective on social media now that he retired than he is competing? No.
I don't think so.
He's going to lose something. How many times can that guy post about him a day in the life of? People want to see journeys. People want to see transformation. You want to call them transformation. Journeys. Is it growing a business? Is it raising a child? Is it having a baby? Is it, I mean, the following that I have in the last 6 months and the DMs that I have in the last 6 months, I even told my wife, I'm like, I have 72,000 followers. I get about 30 DMs a day, and I can't even respond to them. How does Chris or you, how do you guys handle this?
Jeff.
You know? you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's like people, as soon as I said that I'm doing this and I'm getting, people are gravitating towards the journey.
Yeah.
So that's what I think these guys in social media are doing. They're creating the journey, but they don't care the end result of that journey. There are a lot of good bodybuilders out there, a lot. Okay. And if they were about 10 pounds lighter, they'd be dominating. But no one wants to go down that rabbit hole.
I got two things I want to touch on, and I know I've kept you guys way too long already, but these two things are, it's interesting to me that first of all, I know how lucky I am that I've stayed on my beliefs on lifting and eating, and food is medicine, and then optimize your body the very best you can in a healthy way, not a trophy way. And that's where Titan Medical comes into play. But you said something really early on in this whole discussion where you said, I was working on my outside, not the inside. And Johnny says this poetically. He says you could have a fancy car and a Pinto is if the inside isn't working. Can you explain this to everybody here that thinks I look good, I got abs, so obviously I'm healthy? Can you talk about outside to inside?
Yeah, and the thing is, that was my mistake because I thought I was 25, right? So when I started back into this off-season prep, a year ago, I thought, because I'm Jimmy Mentis, I can flip a switch, right? I can flip a switch, eat my 5-6 meals, and train, and everything will come back together. But little did I know, hormonally, I wasn't optimized, right? Just in general, my joints, my ligaments, the stretching side, my lower back, glutes, my tight glutes, everything just came down on me. So what I realized was I had to build the foundation again. Like once you build the foundation, and this is what I coach, and I'm sure you do too. you have to build your foundation, and then you build your four walls.
Absolutely.
Right? And at that point, you can design any house you want. So when I hit the wall, and it was painful, but I needed it because I wasn't going to make it. I was not going to make it. I was just going to work myself down to the ground, And when I realized that I need to build a foundation, that's when I called everybody, like John. I called everybody that I needed to do, and I said, okay, here we are. I'm 270. I'm 15% body fat. Let's fix this. And that's what we did. And that's where I decided from the inside, once my insides were good, my digestion was better. I was getting pain-free. My whole attitude, my mindset, and usually wherever the mind goes, the body follows. Okay. And now it's following. Whenever I want to push myself, whenever I want to do those extra 3 reps, the cardio, everything I want to do now, my body can follow. It's not like my brain, because my mind is very strong, very, very strong. Okay. And now wherever I want to take it, I'm good. Like my body goes with it.
Yeah. For anybody else out there, again, outside to inside, I know that you may get up and be happy with how you look and stuff, but just get your blood work just to make sure the inside is working as well, and working not just well, but better. And in today's day and world that we live in 2025, the stuff that Titan Medical can do to help you optimize it is tremendous. And then I finish on this last question. I love the fact that you're putting the memory muscle on. I love that you're in a surplus of calories to get that muscle that you're going to need to step on there against. I forgot who else was just saying that they're going to do the master.
Brandon Curry's going to show up.
Brandon. I mean, geez Louise. So you got these guys that are already incredible, and they've been competing this last couple of years. You have to go in this surplus of calories. You're going to have to start lifting some thickness, some density, and get all that back. But you're bulking at 59. And I don't know why I'm getting these messages now and this snowflake mentality, or these woke people going, hey, you're not supposed to bulk after 40.
Oh, yeah. We got that comment.
Are you kidding me?
What do you think you're supposed to do?
The guy's like, stay lean. I'm like, oh, my God.
As you age?
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah. So can you just kind of your take on someone actually, I hate that the world is going in this direction,